Hi, I'm the Lyric Snitch, and I'm here to tell you about the songs that our children are listening today. I have an 11-year-old, and there's just certain songs that I just don't want him to listen to. So let's get into our song for today. One of the purposes also for my channel is just so that you can hear the actual words that the artists are saying. So, because sometimes they rap so fast, and some of the things that they say, it's hard to pick up on what they're saying. Okay, so we're going to do Rockstar by DaBaby and Roddy Ricch. And so these are two very popular rap artists that are out today. DaBaby starts out, most of these rap songs are having this intro. So they'll have an intro where they're just kind of riffing a little bit. And woo woo, I pull up like. So to pull up on someone, like you, like driving up, sometimes you can pull up on somebody and you're being in a you want to be in a confrontation. You're approaching them. Okay. How you pull up, baby? How you pull up? How you pull up? I pull up. And then my favorite parts of the song is the producer tag. So Seth in the kitchen. So then you hear the producer tag. So then we have the chorus, and I'm just going to say the chorus once. Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini, F a cop car. So we know Lamborghinis are fast. With the pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you ever met a real rock star? This ain't no guitar B. This a Glock. So a Glock is a type of a gun. And we'll go into that in just a minute. My Glock told me to promise you gonna squeeze. Oh, no. My Glock told me to promise you gonna squeeze me. Woo. You better let me go on the day that you need me. So here, I like to say that they're being poetic. Right here, that's the only word that I'm going to come up with today because it's late and I'm tired. But basically, he's going to pull the trigger on his gun. And a lot of this song is just pretty much about a gun. Soon as you up on that end, get to busting. You know, like bust them out. Woo. And if I ain't enough, go get the chop. So what is that called? Personification for the gun as if it's a person. And a chopper, and this is where I get confused, and I just haven't done the research on it. It's like a chopper. Like I know different types of guns. You got AK-47s, M16s, Dracos, U-21s. I know about AR-15s, semi-automatic weapons. I don't know if I've just named the same weapon 5 different times or different weapons, but all of that is about the weapon. So then DaBaby goes into his verse. It's safe to say I earned it. Ain't an end gonna gave me nothing. And so the big thing about DaBaby is that he has come up on his own. From the little bit that I've read about him. And he's really big on that. He's really big on, like, I made this, I did this on my own. And, you know, of course he had people helping him, but he's just really braggadocious on his self-reliance. I'm ready to hop out on an end, get to busting. Now you heard me say, you play, you lay. I take that as, you know, you want to play in the streets, then you're going to die and lay in the streets. And I wasn't sure, he said, you heard me say it. So is this a reference to another song that he's done? I'm just not really sure. So if that's the reference, then go ahead and put the comments in there. Don't make me push the button. So, you know, the button on the gun. Or just the button of, hey, I'm ready to go. Now, there's been a lot of artists that have talked about You Play, You Lay. Kodak Black, and I think he's still incarcerated, if I'm not mistaken. And then somebody called CTG Day Day. And when I saw his video, I want to call him child, but he's probably a grown man. The whole video was just the guns. I mean, just everybody had a gun and everybody was just not shooting around, but just, you know, showing it off and everything. And I was just like, really? Is this what we're doing? Somebody named Psycho Bob and Ray Capone has also done a song about You Play, You Lay. So I wasn't really sure where it was coming from. So that's how I rabbit hole out of that one. All right, Full of Pain. Dropped enough tears to fill a effing bucket. Going for buckets. I brought a chopper. So again, he's just talking about just how he's just gonna, you know, bring his gun either to the battle or not even to the battle, just how he lives. You know, it's just how I roll. You know, I have my gun. I got a big drum. It hold 100. Ain't going for nothing. And so like the drum, it reminded me when I heard it, and then when I looked it up, it reminded me of like old gangster movies where you've got the rat-a-tat-tat-tat gun and it has that big round thing on the side, so that's a drum. I'm ready to air it out with all these ends. I can see him running. So, you know, when you air out your gun, you just let all the bullets fly. Just talk to my mama. She hit me up on Facebook just to check up on me and my brother. I'm really the baby. She know that her youngest son was always guaranteed to get the money. Okay, let's go. And so, he's getting kind of personal here, talking about, his family life. She knows that her baby boy was always guaranteed to get the loot. Again, he's a hustler. He's hustled his way into this, and not in a bad way, but he's worked his way up. She know what I do. She know for I run from an end. I got to get that right. Yeah, my eye just got stuck there. I'm gonna pull it out and shoot. Boom. So again, this is all about this whole gun action. PTSD. I'm always waking up in cold sweats like I got the flu. My daughter, a gangster, she saw me kill an N in front of her before the age of 2. And then he's not rapping anymore. Now he's just talking. And I'll kill another N too, for I let another N do something to you. Long as you know that, don't let nobody tell you different. Daddy love you. Yeah, yeah. So what happened was, I believe in 2018, somebody pulled up on him at the Walmart. I think they were trying to rob him. And he ended up killing this person, which, he's not in jail, self-defense. But that's what he's talking about. And his daughter apparently was with him. And so he's making reference to that. So then we go back into the chorus, which I'm not going to repeat. And then I'll go into Roddy Ricch's verse. All right. Keep a Glocky when I ride in the Suburban. So that's a truck, a Glocky, a gun. Because the codeine had a young N swerving. So codeine, the drug, the lean, the seal, the whole scene. That's what that's talking about. And that's that's like a drug of choice. They keep talking about this drug like it's something to do. I don't understand that. I really don't understand what's going on with this codeine and the whole pill scene. Like, it is big. All right. I got the mop. Watch me wash him like detergent. So a mop, because of course I had to look that up because I knew it was a reference to something, is a high capacity firearm. And I'm Ballin', Roddy Ricch wrote a song called I'm Ballin', which I really, really like the song I'm Ballin'. I like the tune of it and how it goes. That's why it's diamonds on my jersey. So, he's just alluding to, making that money. All right. Slide on upside and flip the block black. That's hard to say. And flip the block back. And so he's about to talk about two different things, about being on the block and about basketball. All right. Yeah, yeah. So that's like a basketball move or just moving around the hood. My junior popped him and left him lopsided. And I said, now, wait a minute. What does he mean by my junior? Is he talking about a friend? What does he mean? And sure enough, I looked up a junior. If he's talking about something else, I don't know what it is. But in reference to the whole song being about guns, guess what a junior is? It's a little itty bitty baby gun. And so he said, my junior popped him, which makes sense in reference to this song. We spin his block, got the rebound, Dennis Rodman. So again, talking about the block, talking about guns on one hand, and then talking about, how when you do a spin move on someone in basketball, and he's referencing Dennis Rodman. Fool me one time, you can't cross me again. So I guess he's basically, if you're not going to cross somebody again, you're not going to get the opportunity to cross them again. Maybe he's killed you. I'm not really sure. 1,200 horsepower. I got lost in the wind, or I get lost in the wind. And so I said, well, what kind of car has 1,200 horsepower? And the first one that came up was called a Bugatti. And that's a very fancy car. And another car is the Lamborghini, excuse me, that's coming out in 2020 if it hasn't already come out. And do you know that they've only made 63 of those? And then there's an electric car called a Lotus Evija. And that has 1,900 horsepower. But my whole point of that was the rabbit hole that I go down when I do research. I needed to find what kind of car is he possibly talking about that had 1,200 horsepower. All right. If you're talking on the yard, the pen dogs will take his chin. So if you're talking on the yard, that's usually reference to a prison yard. And then the pen dogs, like penitentiary. And I don't know if he's been to jail or prison. I know he's been in one of them before, Roddy. So I can't remember if it was jail or prison, and there is a difference. Maybach's SUV for my refugees. A Maybach is a SUV? No, it's not. Or is it? Okay, because I remember looking at it. It's a vehicle. That's the word that I'm looking for. Do you know that thing costs $350,000? And I hear a lot of rappers talking about Maybachs a lot. That's not the first time that I've heard that. Buy blocks in the hood. I know bricks, but I suspect bricks and blocks are the same thing. Put money in the streets. buy blocks in the hood. He also could be referring to buying homes in his neighborhood now that he has money. So that could go either way. I'm not exactly sure where he's going with that. I was solo when the ops caught me at the gas station. So the opposition. So he was by himself. He's telling a story where he was at the gas station, and he had it on me. 30,000. Thought it was my last day, so he must have had a lot of money on him one day. But they ain't even want no smoke. When you don't want no smoke, that's basically saying you don't want any trouble from me. Okay, so that's what that means. And maybe they mean the smoke of the gun now that I've said that out loud. But I knew the expression, you don't want no smoke. So that's probably what that's referencing. If I had to choose it, Murder, She Wrote. And that's a play on words. So if you've never known about the show with Angela Lansbury that came out in, I believe, the 80s, maybe the early 90s, but definitely the 80s, called Murder, She Wrote. And it's in syndication right now. And Roddy's really good about that. He's really good at playing play on words. And I had someone put in the comments one time about rap music and how you know how poetic it can be, aside from all the cursing and all the subject matter. That's another example of and I wish I forget what these correct language arts terms are, alliteration, but that's not what that is, and personification and things of that nature. But I digress. Then they go into the chorus. So that's pretty much the song. The one thing that I did notice about this is that in Roddy Ricch's verse, he only said the N word one time, and I don't think he cursed not one single time. But doggone it if he ain't talking about pills and drugs and guns. All right, so guys, I really appreciate you being patient. Corona got me in a whole nother world, to be honest with you. But I'm going to do some research on some more songs, and I don't really know if anybody is coming out with anything new. I know Drake came out with something not too long ago, and but he's usually not whatever. He's usually not what I'm wanting to report on or tell on. So anyway, thank you so much for coming and visiting, and we'll see you next time.